student in Manchester who had her drink spiked a couple of weeks ago, good grief, and Ted, who's a student in Derbyshire, who also, morning,
who
also had his drink spiked recently. We also have the owner of the Six Barrels Draft House in Nottingham, Ezra Watson, morning. You're putting in more safety measures in place to combat this sort of crime, and it is a crime, just to be clear. Let's speak to you first, Elizabeth. What happened, and how do you know you were spiked?
So I was on a night out with my work. It was a Monday night. We'd been to a couple of bars in Manchester. I'd been not really drinking because I had uni the next day. And we walked into this one bar and I went up to the bar, and that's the last memory I have of that night. The next thing I remember, I was in an A&E corridor with a cannula in my hand, and I didn't know where I was. And apparently I had a seizure in my uni house. And then my housemates called the ambulance and I was rushed into hospital, but I just have no memory of this.
Oh, what a terrible,
terrible
experience. Did anybody...
Yeah, 2 weeks.
In an interview that we did on this subject about a week ago, a person like you, a student who'd had a drink spike, said that when she'd gone to the toilet, and when she came back, somebody took her aside and said, I don't think you're with a very nice man. I'm sure I just saw him putting something in your drink. Did anybody see anything in terms of your drink being spiked? Were there any witnesses to it happening?
No, which I think is the worst thing. So I was out of quite a big group of people, with it being like a staff do. And luckily 2 people I worked with kind of noticed I was a bit off. So they decided to take me home, but there's no signs of anyone that could have done it, which I think's the worst.
It's dreadful, and I know it's completely knocks your confidence, and this is why, you know, you're part of this girls' night in, which is a sort of boycott of bars and pubs tonight, because you just want somebody to do something about it, and it can't just be girls look after your drinks more. And we say girls, but Ted, actually, you're here to highlight, actually, it's happening to men too. What happened to you?
Yeah, so I was just on a normal night out a couple of weekends back with a close friend. We went to a venue we usually go to most Saturdays. And we arrived just after midnight. And next thing I know, I'm waking up in my bed at 4 p.m. later the next day. No recollection of anything, covered in cuts, bruises. My bed was full of blood, no wallet, no keys. Just, yeah. Crazy.
So you think the motive for spiking your drink was theft, was it? To relieve you of all your worldly goods? Yeah,
I can only assume so. Like I say, I have absolutely no recollection of anything at all. I don't remember getting into any altercations with anyone. I don't remember getting home. I don't remember leaving the bar. I just remember arriving, and then next thing I know, I'm waking up the next day.
Elizabeth says that, and rightly says that she's been traumatised by what happened to her. How are you, Ted? How are you feeling about it now?
I think I'm quite lucky, actually, because I feel I've got pretty thick skin. And rather than looking at myself as a victim, I feel quite empowered. But after talking to a lot of close friends, it became scarily apparent how common and almost normal it is for it to happen to a lot of females, and it just blew my mind.
Absolutely. Ezra, obviously this girls' night in is a sort of sit-in protest, really, because, I mean, the hospitality industry wants young people to feel confident and safe about coming in. I mean, after everything's been shut for so long, I mean, for business, this is a nightmare, never mind just that, you know, obviously it's a nightmare for them individually too. What is it that you, as a bar owner, can do?
So for Nottingham, a lot of venues, we're clubbing together to show solidarity for this girls' night in. We're giving female members of staff the night off, and we're encouraging everyone to enjoy the night off, stay safe. And then for venues, it's all about raising awareness. So there's campaigns out there to give support, for Ask Angela, for how to talk to people, so that all staff, all the public, just know like they are supported, and we have measures in place from drinks covers to extra security that will help protect people and hopefully make people feel safe again on nights out in these cities.
I was saying in a previous interview about this, again, a few days ago, that I think what we would really like to see is some prosecutions of people being caught doing this and being, prosecuted and severely punished. And with a view to that, what about CCTV footage? Is there, do you have extra cameras in so that if there is an incident, you can go back, you can look at the tape and maybe see somebody actually dropping something into somebody's drink?
Yeah, I think an onus is on all venues to ensure that there isn't anything that could be missed, to ensure that all the staff are educated for how to look out for things, for not just pushing people aside, to creating safe spaces for people who are potentially feeling unwell or have been spiked, and making sure they get the right support in this matter.
Yeah, and I suppose it's partly that thing of, lots of young people say that they just look like they're drunk and they're out of control. Yeah. And actually, it's at that point, even bouncers, door staff, everybody needs to be recognising that when somebody's all of a sudden falling around, that they don't just go, get out, you're too drunk. There could be something else going on. And thank you to all three of you. And, I think this is really important, this girls' night. And great, and Ezra, what a good thing for you to do. You're losing money tonight, and I think that you're doing that because you're putting your money where your mouth is, because you care about the safety of your customers. And I hope that both of you, Elizabeth and Ted, you say, it's not your confidence, but let's hope you feel more confident that things are going to get done about this. Thank you so much for joining us on the programme.